Hello, I am still on the floor. Let's get into it. My name is Danielle Lilly, and I will be talking all about the bassoon today. Before I begin the presentation, I would like to ask if anyone knows what a bassoon is. And then I'll wait, and they'll answer. You'll be like, cool, this is exactly why I want to do this presentation. What are my credentials on doing this presentation all about the bassoon? Well, I've been playing since 6th grade, which makes for about 9 years. I also had an apprenticeship my junior year of high school with the LaPorte County Symphony Orchestra, my hometown symphony orchestra. I played second bassoon with Cindy Alt here as the principal bassoonist. I also got into two all-state bands my senior year of high school. One I got into through my credentials, the other I got in with an audition. I currently study under Mike Trinicosti. He's a professional bassoonist in Fort Wayne, Indiana, and he worked at Fox Products, which is a bassoon manufacturing company, for 36 years. Why do I think learning about the bassoon is important? Well, culturally, I think it's really important. There's a lot of music created for symphony orchestras and wind bands, so like big professional ensembles, that include the bassoon, and no one quite knows what the bassoon is. It's one of the rarest common instruments. So what is a bassoon? Well, I aim to demonstrate that the bassoon is an instrument that has mysterious beginnings, but it has formed into a complex masterpiece over time. I will be doing this by going through the bassoon's history, what it is today, and how it is currently played. Let's start with the invention of the bassoon. So who exactly invented the bassoon? No one knows. According to New World Encyclopedia, the modern bassoon appeared around the 1800s. However, there were some forms of the bassoon in the Baroque era, which was before the 1800s, and some think that this modern bassoon developed directly from the dulcian. Others think that it's a brand new invention, but one of the historic versions of the bassoon would be the dulcian. According to Grinnell College, the dulcian was a double reed instrument, just like the bassoon is. It was developed in Europe, the same as the bassoon, and it has some very stark similarities and differences to the modern bassoon. You can see there's 3 holes for each hand. That is a similarity, as the modern bassoon is also played with 3 holes on each finger. However, the modern bassoon has many, many more metalworkings and different types of holes in the body than the dulcian does. So what exactly is the modern bassoon? I am so glad you asked. We will be talking about the German style of the bassoon. There's also the French style of this bassoon. I don't know anything about it because in the US it's very rarely played. We mostly play on German style. It's one of the oldest members of the woodwind family, and it has a very wide range. The modern bassoon can play a little above 3 octaves, depending on the musician. It plays in the bass clef and the tenor clef. When I started out, I typically only played the bass clef. I am beginning to get used to the tenor clef, but that's mostly in the upper, higher register. According to Fox Products, their website, they sell 3 different types of the modern bassoon, and that is the long bore, short bore, and the thick wall. The long bore has a deeper, warmer tone, and it also has a stable intonation. The short bore typically projects better. It's better for soloists. And the thick wall is thicker. Wow. But it doesn't project. It has more resonance and more power, and it's harder to play. I play on a Fox long bore bassoon. The bassoon typically plays the bass line within ensembles, but because it has such a wide range, sometimes it gets the melody and sometimes it gets like cool inner parts. There's another form of the modern bassoon called the contrabassoon. I'm so sorry, I just realized you can't really see that. It's called the contrabassoon. This is also according to Grinnell College. It's essentially just a very big bassoon. It was created to sound much deeper, and it was developed by the famous Heckel family. This is a family that manufactures bassoons in Germany, in the German style, of course. And the contrabassoon was developed in Europe in, I believe, 1879. Yes. So how is the modern bassoon played? I'm so glad you asked. It can actually be played sitting or standing up. As you can see, that's a strap in my case right there. That is my butt strap. I called it that in 6th grade and nobody corrected me. It's actually called a seat strap. But there's a bunch of different parts to the bassoon. There's the vocal, it's the middle part that you play on. There's also the double reed that you put your mouth on. And then there's 4 different tubes or joints. You can really call them whatever they'll understand. I never counted how many holes my bassoon has because every single model of the bassoon is slightly different and counting the holes is kind of useless. But I think it's a fun fact. My bassoon has 13 thumb keys. So I actually play 9 thumb keys with my left hand and 4 with my right. The double reed is also what makes up most of the sound on the bassoon. It's 2 pieces of cane smushed together to create a little hole that you blow into. And as you can imagine, that creates some issues. So you have to have a good double reed to play the bassoon. Now that we've learned about how to play it, I'm sure your next question is, what does it sound like? I am so excited to show you. And again, this is the part where I show the sources. And then I play for 30 seconds. And then I'm like, thank you so much for learning about the bassoon with me. I had so much fun. Goodbye.